God bless you, my friends, and thank God for you on tonight. I want you to know that the lines are open tonight at 322-6229. I would love to hear from you tonight here on the Mission Gospel Train, and just thank God for the inspiration, but also we always share with the information here on MGT, and I feel that this is the community program to get the word out and to push things that's going on. And so let me say, if your organization, if your group would like to have an opportunity to tell your story, you can tell it right here on the Mission Gospel Train. On this evening, I'm grateful to God to share, and it's information time, and we are in a time of election soon and very soon, and there's a lot of things that's happening towards voting. We've had on the national circuit, we've had some big conventions from Republicans and Democrats, but all of that is good. But you cannot even go forth unless you're registered to vote. And so tonight we're grateful from the East of the Falls Community Development Corporation, one of my longtime friends, and she goes back all the way from the beginning of the Mission Gospel Train, and also from the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, my good friend, Sister Penny Rhodes, and also we're grateful to have none other than Brother Patrick Gray. Let's welcome them tonight here on MGT. God bless you all.
God bless you.
My friend, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Brother Patrick, God bless you. Nice to meet you. So grateful that you jumped aboard here on MGT. Well, Sister Penny, let me just share, and Brother Patrick, jump in when you can, and because me and Sister Penny, we go back and we get to talking. But first, let's talk about the East of the Falls Community Development Corporation.
Well, the East of the Falls Community Development Corporation has been around for a while in different names, but we finally reorganized and got a board together, and it was a blessing when United Way decided to kind of reorganize and redo the way they've been doing business, to get back to what the United Way was originally organized for, was to really help the community. So right now the United Way is focusing on the early development indicators for two areas. It's Burgess area and the Washington Jackson area.
Sure.
Well, it was the programs and things that they wanted to do to help the early childhood development indicators, and also to help see the neighborhood as the same things that the East of the Falls wanted to do. So we've kind of, right now, we've aligned ourselves with the United Way, and that we're both trying to achieve the same goals for our community, and that is to make sure that our children have a healthy community to grow and to live and to return to.
Well, Brother Gray, let me ask you this. How long have you been a part of the East of the Falls CDC?
Just here recently, actually. It hasn't been too long. I was interested when we get to the voting stuff. I actually ran for school board here, and that's when I got a chance to get to know people that were in the community. Because before that, prior to that, being a younger guy, there's like a generation gap. So I really didn't get a chance to meet some of my elders and the people that were running and supporting the community until now. So,
well, I mean, when we look at, as we move now from the community, and I think that's good to have good community organizations in the community to help move forward. And so what are we doing? We're coming up on a big election.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're not going to get off into Republican, Democrats, but we will deal with the opportunity to register to vote.
Yes, sir. And people, they don't understand. A lot of people think voting is something that is old hat. But we know that the power lies in the vote, and that if you do not vote, you do not count. And if you do not vote, you not only don't have a voice, but you don't give your children a voice either.
Sure.
So voting is not only a personal matter, but it's a matter for your community and for your children too.
Yeah. Well, now, what are some of are there some changes in the voting? Because there's some things in Oklahoma.
Bless your heart.
There's some in Oklahoma that's different, and that's why we're trying to push it now.
Yes, sir.
Push it now on towards people, because there's some. Is that the same way here?
Not necessarily. It, like what Mrs. Rose said just now, it's a matter of personal responsibility of getting out to vote. No matter if the rules are changed or what happens, if you don't just take a few minutes to fill out that registration card, take a few minutes to put your vote in, then you're really just being lazy. And I hate to sound cruel, but you're just really being lazy for all the history and everything that goes back to us getting a chance to vote, getting an opportunity to vote. My generation has become very apathetic. So being apathetic, you see, we have things like, you know, a new president. Everybody starts talking about, well, we need a new black president. Well, we got one. So now y'all need to sit back and say and read and look at the issues. And the only way you can get a chance to have your voice heard is to sit down and vote. So no matter how the wheels are drawn or how the lines are drawn, it comes down to personal responsibility and voting.
That's it.
So,
And right now, the voting rules in Texas are still the same. You do not have to provide your ID as long as you have your voter registration card. And if you don't have your voter registration card, you do need your ID to prove who you are. But the Texas legislature has not passed that ruling, not as of yet. So right now things are the same. And the thing about it is, Texas was the first state to have an accessible ballot in the country, and to make it accessible to those with disabilities. So Texas is trying to make it easy for people to vote. So
what about our elderly?
Now that is one thing about it. A lot of the elderly are disabled, or they feel uncomfortable when they go to vote because maybe because of disabilities. But once again, if you make arrangements, they can bring the ballot to your car and let you vote. Or if there's some special needs that you have, if you call ahead of time, don't wait till the last minute or the day before the election.
Right.
But especially when early voting is going on, call the office, call Lori Bohannon, the Wichita County Clerk. Tell her that you have special needs or special concerns, and they are more than willing to help.
And me, I come from the technology world.
Sure.
And in the technology world, there's really no excuse for my generation not to vote, because there's websites for you to check to see if you can vote, for you to check to see if you're registered, for you to even vote. So there's no reason for nobody to say, hey, I can't get out there. We all carry, my generation, we carry smartphones. From you name the smartphone. In those smartphones, there's apps to keep up with the issues. There's apps to take you to go register. Even if you go, I believe we were writing, it's www.votetexas.gov. You can go and check to see if you're registered. So all you do is just type in your driver's license number, and if it says you're not registered, then it'll take you to the next website to let you get registered. So really, there's no excuse. So if you're just sitting at McDonald's one day, you can get registered to vote from your smartphone. So
let me ask this: what about those who've been incarcerated?
Oh, and I'm so glad you brought it up. There's a lot of myths about voting. One myth is that if you've ever been incarcerated, you can't vote. If you have paid your penance, you can vote. So if you were in jail, but you've paid your penance, you've done your sentence, you've done it all, you can vote. If you're not sure, ask. You know, we have not because we ask not.
Yes.
And that's not just asking of the Lord. That's asking of anything. The Lord can bless us in so many ways when we use those things that He has out there for us to be blessed by. And one of those things He has is voting. And we need to understand that voting is more than just the president or the mayor. It's also your school board. Or one time there was a question on the ballot about whether or not you thought that people needed to make higher than what the minimum wage was. So if you were making minimum wage, you weren't a registered voter, you didn't get a chance to vote in your own pay raise.
Exactly.
You never know what's going to be on a ballot, and because of that, you want to be registered just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Is there going to be any type of workshops?
Yes.
Some type of, or any community meetings concerning voter registration?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we're working on the exact dates to tie that down now. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the technology, the older generation who don't use technology, and we're going to help people get registered to vote, and we're going to check our younger generation to see if they're registered to vote. If not, we're going to help them get there.
And that's going to be Saturday, September the 15th at the Martin Luther King Center at the CDC meeting. The community is always welcome to our meetings. Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And our guest speaker is Lori Bohannon with the Wichita County Clerk. She's going to come speak to us about voter registration and registering to vote and the myths about voting and whatnot. So it's a perfect opportunity. We'll have people that are deputized there, as Patrick said, that can register to vote. It's going to be a wonderful day to get registered to vote.
Well, I'm here to tell you, just listening to you, both of you all, I'm ready to vote tonight. I'm ready to vote tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I want to
sir.
thank you all so much for coming by. Sister Penny, God bless
Always
you.
good to see you, Pastor.
Brother Patrick, God bless you. So grateful
Thank
to
you, sir.
have you to come by and share with us here. And we want to encourage all of our friends to get out and vote. First, get registered. Make sure that you're registered to vote every Sunday. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, yes.
Before I get a benediction, I want to make sure the people are registered at our church. God bless you and God keep you. We'll be right back after word from a few of our wonderful sponsors.